Hello, everybody. This is Bruce on the Loose, episode 4. I'm Dino Lorenzo.
And I'm Abby Fagan.
And welcome. Thank you for listening. Now, I'm not sure how many of you know, and then again, most of you may already know, that Bruce's Hail to the Chin, Further Confessions of a B-Movie Actor, the book tour actually begins next week. The book comes out 8/15. What day is that, Abby? Is that Tuesday?
It is a Tuesday, yeah.
Hail to the Chin, Bruce's brand new book comes out. He's actually starting the night before. He'll be in Ridgewood, New Jersey on 8/14 for a pre-book release signing. And then, of course, the next day, he's going to be not too far away, over in Long Island, New York on 8/15. 8/16, he's going to be traveling to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And then, to end that first week of the book's release, he's going to end that off Boston, Mass, 8/18 and 8/19. Go to brucecampbell.com to find out exactly where he's going to be appearing.
And if there's tickets.
And get your tickets. Abby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. I mean, I know it's been, you were on vacation for a little while, so we really didn't get a chance to talk. The last episode, we've gotten some great buzz from the last episode. If you haven't listened to episode 3, I definitely recommend you do so.
Yeah, me too, because it's a tearjerker.
But it's good to hear your voice again.
It's good to hear your voice again, too.
It is a tearjerker. Now, I don't know how many of you know that Abby and I have never met in real life. She's in California. I'm in Florida. We met online in the Bruce Campbell fan club. We concocted this little deal that you're listening to, but we've never actually seen each other live. Isn't that crazy? Look at how far we've come and we've never even seen each other, Abby.
It's pretty amazing. Well, technically you just saw me, but I've never seen you in person.
Well, right. I mean, with video chat and things like that. You've never seen me on video chat, huh? You've never seen me in moving real time?
No, because you keep covering the camera.
I envy you. So, believe me, be thankful of this. I don't like to shave, but I also hate a beard, so I'm always in this in-between state.
Beards are in right now.
They are, but they're too itchy. I don't like them. They get caught on my shirt sometimes, and it hurts.
That's not fair. And food gets stuck in it and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's cool. You know, you can just pick it off later. But I think that's half the reason. But yeah, there's all moisture that collects. It's disgusting. But, you know, for our listeners who have beards, God bless you. I know our good buddy Jeremy Johnston has a nice beard that he's working on. And James Hudson also. There's a few of them. Mark Ward is trying, but he's not quite there yet. Has Bruce ever had a full-fledged mountain man's, beard?
For some reason, I want to say yes. Like, I think that I've seen him with something of a full-fledged beard, but at the same time, it might just be the goatee thing that I'm seeing.
Right, but like a real beard. I don't mean like at the end of the director's cut of Army of Darkness where he stumbles from the cave and he's got this Merlin-esque, big beard. Nothing like that. But I mean, the most that I could think of, I mean, we all know when he's got the Bruce stash, and he's shown the Bruce stash in several movies. I've seen him in total scruff, looking really scummy, which is good, like in Mind Warp. But a full beard, sort of like, I don't remember it personally. But you may be right. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Me too.
But it's never worked out for me. I don't like it. Do you like a hairy man like that?
Yes.
Does Ron have a full blown beard?
Only in the winter.
So he grows it for the winter.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. It's my favorite time.
You do like that. You like that mountain man, woolly kind of 7 brides for 7 brothers look?
Yeah, what did I call him? It was, Grizzly Adams. He's my favorite.
Oh my God. Now, how do you know Grizzly Adams? Again, you're so young, but you always have these
Not that young.
Old school references.
Not that young.
Yeah. Looks can be deceiving, I know.
I look like I'm 12.
Yeah, you do. You really do. You could pass for that. You could pass for a teenager.
I get it all the time.
Do you still get carded?
And then it's funny because they're like...
For cigarettes and alcohol?
Cigarettes and alcohol. All the time. Every day something happens.
Wow. So you smoke and drink. You got tattoos too, huh?
I don't got no tattoos. Or piercings.
No tattoos? No, I don't know. No piercings either? How about the ears,
Nope.
No?
Nothing.
California girls. I know all about them. They make songs about them. I've heard it.
Yeah, California.
There's proof on the radio.
Yeah. We've got some songs about us. I wish they could all be California girls.
Right, that's the only one I've heard of. Which one were you singing there?
Perry.
Oh, okay. Yes, I have her CD in my
Ha!
car, and I sing to it every night. So what are we doing this episode,
We're going to
Abby?
watch Within the Woods. I'm so excited.
Within the Woods. You know, some people call this the Evil Dead prequel, but I mean, in a way it is, in a sense that it was like a test film for them, but it's definitely not a prequel as far as the story goes,
It is not
right?
a prequel. I don't consider. I think it's a promo. It's a promo.
Definitely a promo. I mean, they showed this to dentists and doctors to try to drum up some money and some interest in the project, and they eventually made it, obviously, which is why we're here today to marvel at it. But we're gonna watch it in just a second. But I did not get to see this until after I saw all 3 Evil Dead films. So I've always heard about it. I knew it existed. I knew what it was. But I got my first copy at a convention, of course. I'm sure it was pirated, an illegal VHS copy. It was all of Sam Raimi's early films and Within the Woods. And it was a horrible copy. I mean, it was barely watchable. And I think that's the only copy out there. Does a clear copy exist of this?
Not that I've seen. I've seen that VHS copy that you have. Like it's still out and about.
Really? They're still making money off. That's what a shame, right? And this is why I wish that Sam and Bruce would put this stuff out.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon.
I mean, official release? I mean, are you kidding?
No,
I mean,
not
this
official.
piracy?
I think it's just somebody's got it. And, Amazon's kind of like Etsy, but like mainstream.
Right, but I just don't understand that because these guys are making money off Sam and Bruce's work. I'm sure Sam and Bruce are getting, and Rob, of course. Sam, Bruce, and Rob are making not a cent for this, and fans are buying this up. Fans want to see this because I did. I think I paid $10, and it came with like The Blind Waiter, and this was at a convention years ago. I mean, come on, bootleg tapes are right there in the open.
Oh yeah,
but this came with The Blind Waiter, Cleveland Smith, Within the Woods. All the early stuff. The Attack of the Helping Hands with Scott Spiegel's movie. Great stuff. I mean, it was like 10 of the best dollars that I've ever spent. But it's just a shame that these guys won't release this officially because there's a market for it.
They can't. They can't because of
why can't
because
they?
Of the music. It's all copyrighted material. There's no way they can release it ever.
Right. I mean, but there's got to be a way that they can. I mean, with today's technology, which I don't understand at all, by the way, there's got to be a way where they can pull the audio off that and do something to it. I mean, I can't believe that they can't. Unless it's just, and again, when we start watching this, you'll see this is such a bad copy. Maybe the copy just wouldn't survive that transfer. You know what I mean?
You could be absolutely.
Because they shopped this around for years.
I would hope that there was a better version that, Sam Raimi's got in like a vault somewhere in his mansion on the hill,
right. Well, that would be great to think of, but I'm not sure.
This could be the only, and that's the reason why they're not so worried about it, because they want it to be seen, but they can't officially release it because there's like,
and that's a shame. I mean,
there's about 50 copies of it on YouTube alone, all of the same version, obviously, but I mean.
Well, it has to be the same version, yeah.
They could have taken the time to take it down if they cared.
Right. And they don't. And, and with these guys, I don't think they really do that. Like, big studios would do that and get all mad. And I keep waiting for a cease and desist order in my inbox for the podcast that we do. You know what I'm saying? But Rob Tappert has, retweeted us. He's liked us. Bruce hasn't said anything to us yet. But he's definitely got to be aware of it. So I guess they're cool with it. And we hope so because, I mean, it's a free plug. If you think about it, I mean, I'll plug anything that these guys do for the rest of their life. But, all right, so you're all synced up? You ready to roll over there? Okay, so 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go. Rip Tappert presents. Now, obviously, Rip Tappert is going to be Rob Tappert, who I believe changed his name to Rip in case this was a horrible debacle and he could wash his hands of it and, turn his back on it. And nobody could attribute it to Rob Tappert. Does that sound plausible?
I guess so.
Now, it starts kind of like The Evil Dead. Bruce Campbell, huh?
Bruce
Top billing?
Campbell.
For once?
For once. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Fuzzy graininess.
it's always nice to see him. You know what I mean? Bruce Campbell as the top billing, and it's not on the Sci-Fi Channel. But
It was always my favorite part of
It
the
starts-
Sci-Fi Channel.
tell me about it. It's the only reason I ever watched it. Ellen Sandweiss, who we haven't even spoken about yet on the podcast. Don't you love Ellen Sandweiss?
I do. She's actually a phenomenal actress.
She's a great actress. She's cute as a button. When she appeared on season 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead, I was ecstatic. I loved it. I just couldn't believe it. Now, here we go. Obviously, the Force POV, as it's called in the script, going through the house and just setting it up creepily. Do you love this sort of stuff?
This is fantastic.
It's great. I could just see Sam there, right?
Yep.
Doing that. Now, that's the farmhouse in Marshall, Michigan. Am I correct?
Yes.
Rob
and
Tappert's family farmhouse.
Family farmhouse, yep. Within the woods. Did you see that?
Within the Woods, the title. I love it. And there we go. What do you got?
Did you
Bugs
see the
being
bug?
wrapped up.
Ew.
Yeah. Was that bananas? Goldens, of course.
I thought
Another
it was
reason
hot
they can't.
dogs because that's mustard. You got the
Right,
mustard,
good point.
the Coke, the apples.
Apples. They're going away
A
for the weekend,
sandwich.
well, they're actually going on a picnic. They're already away.
That's right. They're all on vacation. Oh, and Arrowhead. Do you see that? That's important.
Yep. A little bit of foreshadowing already. So there's the lovely Ellen Sandweiss. Now, she did a lot of movies with them in the early days. And, of course, they carried her over to The Evil Dead. And she didn't return until recently, unfortunately. So there we have Bruce, young Bruce with glasses. And they're, of course, playing Monopoly is who?
Scott Spiegel. And
Mary Valenti.
Mary Valenti. And she's the only character that has a different name other than her own. I think she's Barbara.
Right? You're right. Bruce, Ellen, Scott. Exactly. Now look at Bruce. You have to know that was Bruce just being himself, basically.
Like the porch swing little nod.
There we go.
It's
and they
important.
carried that over to...
That is hardcore banging, though.
Yeah, that was a little... Well, hey, they're away for the weekend. But yeah, it was, right? It was a little too hard. I like it better in The Evil Dead. And then they brought it back for the TV show, too. They kind of did a slight homage to that. So there's Bruce and Ellen, and did you say that she took his virginity?
What?
Back in the day?
Wait,
That's the rumor. Did you? No, I'm not kidding. That's the rumor. I thought it was you that told me. It could have been someone else.
Oh, I don't know that it was her. I know that he didn't lose it until he was like 23 years old. So it could be.
Well, right. So, I mean, again, so he says, I'm not... I think that was... Well, maybe he did. Didn't he say that he married the first girl that he slept with?
Yes. I think his first wife was the first time.
It could just be something that they're putting out on the web, you know what I mean? And I believe it came out of an interview with her where she said that Bruce lost his virginity to her. I don't know if it's true, but it's out there on Google. Now, what are they discussing? The arrowhead. He found the Indian arrowhead because this land here is an Indian burial ground.
That's what Bruce just said just there.
Huh?
He just said, this is an Indian burial ground, right before
There
he
you
said
go.
it.
See that? So, yeah, my sound is off, so it doesn't ruin the recording. But, yeah, now, the Indian burial ground in horror movies, I mean, the biggest one that I could think of was Poltergeist. Now, that came out after this, no?
Yeah.
So, again, I don't know if there was... I can't remember any other movie with Indian burial grounds except for Poltergeist. So, I'm wondering if maybe
Pet
they lifted
Sematary?
that idea from this. Right, but that was written after this also. There's no way that was written in the 70s or early 80s, right? And this is... What year is this? 78?
78, because they started production in 80 for Evil Dead, I believe.
Right.
Right. And it was
So
released
they
in
filmed
81.
this and then they shopped it around. All right, so she goes off to find some firewood. He's digging a fire pit. What a good dude.
Aww. He does it with such skill,
Don't you
too.
just love him?
He's a Boy Scout, you know.
He does.
Scout's honor.
Was he?
No, it made fun of it in the beginning part of the film. This is actually
Oh, that's right.
the
Okay.
cleanest version I've ever seen.
Okay, nice. So the character Bruce is a Boy Scout, or was a Boy Scout.
Or just making fun of Boy Scouts. He tried to do Scout's honor to her, but it kind of
Right.
looked weird.
Yeah. You could see it's kind of murky and dark, but you're right. This is probably the cleanest copy I've ever seen. So what is he finding there?
That is a
Some
cross.
Blair Witch kind of wooden things? Yeah.
I'm sure it's supposed to signify that it's a grave site. There's a cross. They're Indians,
right.
but there's a cross. Whatever.
Right. Well, exactly. And then he's digging up bones here because the Indians, I don't remember them, being Christians in history class. But
well, they were
get it.
Most of them were converted, so I guess there would be crosses if it was the the converted type.
Right.
But
exactly.
I watch a lot of Little House on the Prairie.
Do you really? My sisters love that. My wife loves it. I have to admit I love it too.
Yeah, you can't beat it. Oh, what's that? Oh, is that a dagger?
It's the knife.
Oh.
It is. Okay, the precursor to the Kandarian dagger. So the whole idea started out, it's an Indian knife. They're on Indian burial grounds. You're not supposed to desecrate the burial grounds. You're supposed to respect it. And obviously they're hanging out on blankets, eating sandwiches and hot dogs and digging it up. So I think that would count as disturbing the site.
Absolutely, and especially because he took that knife away from it. Oh, he's
now. If you notice, it's a
right now.
Now,
Tinga.
it's a nice slow build-up. Tinga, the Indian god, right?
Yep.
Which I've never heard of. Have you ever heard of Tinga before?
No.
Now,
aww, they're so cute.
The pacing of this is very slow. It's probably one of the slower paced films that I've ever seen from Raimi, but of course this is one of his first, works.
You think it's slow? This is my favorite part.
In parts, yeah. Now, when they left Scott Spiegel, when they left Scott, he was winning, and now he's losing.
Yes, now he's losing.
She's eating him up. Do you play Monopoly?
No. I mean, I'd have. I don't.
I can't stand it.
I hate it. It's like the game that lasts a week long.
Right. It's so boring. I feel bad.
They can't play with 2 players either, just so you know. In the rules,
you can't, huh? You need more than 2.
You have to have more than 2. So it's funny. Uh-oh. Where's Brucey?
Yeah. Yeah, Bruce is gone. There's Ellen. They went for a little cheesecake, as much as she would allow. I mean, no, for real,
Yeah.
Horror movies, they always have cheesecake. Sometimes the movie is for the cheesecake because it's the producer's girlfriend or something like that. But I always hated that in horror films, to be honest with you. Like, my friends would want to go see that. Hey, let's go see the latest Friday the 13th. There's some tit in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, to me, I was always there for the horror and the story. I didn't care about the tit. I mean, the tit was okay. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I was more interested in, like, watching Jason cleave the tit.
Cleave the tit.
That was my sort of cleavage.
I'm going to use that more often. Cleave the tit. I'm going to cleave your tit.
I don't know. Well, cleavage, right?
Cleavage, the cleavage. Let's cleave the cleavage. Right.
Cleave the breasts.
Oh, this is nice.
So Bruce has gone up. Yeah, we all know that Ellen in the woods by herself never ends well.
Yeah.
She's got shoes on this time. Thank goodness, because in the original Evil Dead, she was barefoot and she was just Rambo out there. She did not. I'm sure she got cut up and scarred and punctured, and it was a nightmare. But she did it, man. She was a trooper.
I can't believe how good this version is.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the best version I've ever seen, too. Well, there you go. So, all right, she's heading back. She's looking for Bruce. Bruce is nowhere to be found.
Oh, see, never mind. It's gonna start jumping on us again. Oh, she tripped.
No, it's gonna be all right. Uh-oh. There she goes.
What'd she find? Is that blood? I can't tell because it's so grainy.
Yeah. It's really bad. But I think it's supposed to be Bruce's head.
Oh,
see,
man.
That's a head of some sort.
Oh, you
could see his shirt, the yellow and white.
That's him. Yep, upside down in a tree, I think.
Shame.
She looked up. Ouch.
She can't believe it.
What was that? What the fuck was that?
Uh-oh. We know what happens. What the fuck was that? She's not. I'm a little nervous. You know what happens to her in the woods in the next movie.
Mm-hmm. The trees always get a little frisky.
Right. They don't even buy her a drink first.
I know, right? The true definition of a tree hugger.
Well, here's the thing, and I just read something about this the other day. How come everybody in a horror movie never, how come everyone in a horror movie acts as if they've never seen a horror movie?
Because they've never seen a horror movie?
Now, your boyfriend is dead, and you're just standing in the woods looking around. Wouldn't you just, like, run until you couldn't stop until you got to someone? I always love these forced POV shots, and they really cleaned them up for the next movie.
Yeah, they did. I love this. I love this running through the woods thing. But back to the you see your bear, you're gonna run, right? When there's that fight and flight thing, or there's the freeze. I'm a freezer.
I'm not gonna stop. Yeah, you are.
I'm a freezer. I'll freeze.
See, I would have done exactly what she did. I would have found the dead body. I would have freezed and screamed, and then took off like a bat out of hell. I would have been running over trees. Right there, I would have started swimming frantically. I do not freeze once I'm in flight. You know what I mean? Now I get it; it's a movie, but in reality, I would have already been back at the farmhouse.
I don't know.
With,
I think that you're
dirty underwear.
Truth be told.
Go ahead.
Nah, I mean...
You think what?
I think I'd already be dead by now, because I would have been just standing there.
You would have caught wood.
Yeah, for lack of a better word, yeah. I would have caught some wood.
Right.
And liked it.
Poor Ellen.
Poor
Now,
Ellen.
I was going to say, there's all these weird people that always have any kind of weird fetish, Do you wonder if there's, like, people who have this woods fetish?
No, that's never crossed my mind, but I'm sure that there's those people out there, and more power to them. More power to them.
Yeah, God bless you. Do what you got to do. Make yourself happy. Somebody I know always used to say. Now look at this. Obviously, of course, this is straight out of Evil Dead. And again, see, it's glass, and she's like just tapping at it. I would have put my foot through it and scrambled through.
I don't know why they're not opening the door for her. Are they so involved,
they're too involved
in this
their
monopoly?
Game.
It's
right.
Oh God! Look at Scotty's all. Oh God! She's knocking at the door.
Spiegel.
Just turn the frickin' handle already.
Look, and here we go.
Why does she have? Why is the door locked?
Right.
Scramble for those keys.
Did they lock it when they left? Did somebody lock it after them? Evil Dead also.
It's also not Evil Dead 2. I'm sorry. 2 as in TOO. Look, he's grabbing himself a drink first. She's all like frantically knocking.
Relax. Did you see all that liquor in the freezer? That's awesome.
Best party ever.
Where'd she get the keys from? I didn't even notice.
Well, that's why they put it in the Evil Dead,
Right. Above the door.
There
we go. Drop the keys. Reach for it. Boom.
Oh.
Love it.
Love it. Oh,
Scott, get in.
Scotty.
Now look at this, right? That thing was rushing, and it was just about as far away. And they definitely tightened that up a little bit for the original Evil Dead.
These are cool. I've always liked his shots of the sky. That's the thing about Sam Raimi. He's always really good at like portraying like wind and things like that you don't really notice, but it's so I'm clever.
No, I love it too. I don't know if it's called an establishing shot. I don't believe it is, because that's usually your setting.
That's your setting.
That is just established, right? But that just established that the sun is going down and it is now nighttime. So Scotty's had a cigarette the whole time, right? It was the woods themselves, Ashley.
Scotty, it's Scotty now. Ashley's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, Brucey.
I wish Scott would have played Scotty in the original. I'm not sure exactly why. I think it was he had other obligations. They were all young men,
Like he worked on the film, didn't he? He probably didn't want to be in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but he's been working with them since, and I'm glad, because I find him personally hilarious. Funny dude. But at least they named him Scott.
See, look how pretty that
in the
skyline
character.
is.
It is. That's real nice.
It
Marshall,
almost looks
Michigan.
Evil.
It's nice.
She's calmed down fast.
And now she's totally calm.
Right?
I was going to say, she's totally calm. You know, Bruce is dead in the woods, but this is fine. And the friend here with a big smile on her face, you know, don't worry about it. It'll be all right. He's dead, but we're cool. Poor Scotty investigating, calling out for his boy.
I mean, you could technically say this is what happened to Scotty when he left the... I mean, you know, an
Good
Evil
point.
Dead.
Right.
Never
When he
know
left
what
Ash
happened to
behind with his
Scott.
wounded girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Comes back all tattered and torn and stuff. With a big old huge stick in his stomach.
Gut.
We'll say stomach.
Yeah.
Gut.
Well, yeah. Now, the thing on that is, I like Scott here. He's not as much of a jerk. Like, Scotty in Evil Dead was a complete and total dick. He even told his girlfriend at one point he's going to break her face. You know that part?
What?
I think it's just before they're listening to the recording, Shelley is like goofing on him, and he says, "I'm going to break your face." He says it jokingly, but yeah, I don't know. Scotty was a bit of a jerk.
Well,
and in the musical, he's a total jerk.
I've not seen it. Don't tell me a thing.
Oh, they give him some funny lines in the musical, man. He is a total ass.
I am so excited for October. Like, oh, wow, that was good. Wow.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
Look at that, lifting her up.
Oh my God.
Right. I love that. That was like the easiest. Her shoes fell off.
That's genius.
Join us. So they kept that, which is awesome.
That is a real butcher knife. That is no prop. Let's see how
that effect was nice.
Oh, she did good.
She did really good. Now, that effect is pretty easy to achieve, right? I mean, you don't show her full body. It looks like he's lifting her up. Then you cut to her feet, you know? So it's a pretty easy effect, but it's effective here.
No, they did phenomenal.
What a shame.
That's great because it's kind of like Intruder where they show the scenes. Those were fantastic, but there was a cutaway before they actually hooked him or something, you know? It's cool. It's fantastic. But the nice thing about it is it leaves it to your viewer to imagine how that thing went into their throat or whatever.
Right. It's always more effective when, you know, it's in your mind.
It's been so
Is he jabbing her?
He is just welling away at her.
And there he goes. I love the eyeball dangling from his right eye. But it's so glued in place because it's not swinging or anything like you would expect it to. But still pretty good.
That took her long enough.
Sure did.
That was a freeze.
And again, why he's not smashing through the glass, we don't know.
Oh, here comes the little sputterness. Yeah. But that's not it.
We need tracking. We need tracking. Do you remember tracking on VHS?
Oh, I still have my VHS.
You had a little tracking.
Player.
You can scroll. Oh, shit. Double-fisted.
She is on it. Oh.
What would you do that? She's got 2 knives. This is awesome.
This is
way more of a fighter than she was in Evil Dead.
They were going for the final girl.
Without a doubt.
That was another thing about like the Evil Dead.
I wonder how she
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's good.
No, what was the other thing?
Like Ash is like one of the only final guys that I've ever seen in a horror film.
Oh, they absolutely flipped that, and I love that.
I love that
because
too.
It's always a woman.
I'm
but right, Bruce
woman
was
power
the
and
final
stuff,
guy.
But at the same time, you don't see it very often. So when you do, you're kind of like, wow, a guy can be the hero.
Now this is used later. They used this later for Evil Dead 2.
Yes, with Jake, right?
Absolutely, Jake, our buddy Danny Hicks.
Love Danny Hicks.
Oh God, he's just awesome. But yeah, I'm glad. I mean, look, it's like shot for shot. Right? Annie Nobe backed up. Oh no. Yep. Oh no. And then Evil Ash
comes up.
Same shot.
Same exact. That's fantastic.
I mean,
back to the
same
roots.
lighting, everything. Right? Exactly. why write new stuff? And this is, and again, you never know. This is Scott Spiegel got co-writing credit. And it's probably because some of these gags were his. Look at that. Even that, where he rips kind of that, that little thing off the side.
Yeah.
And he's headed towards the back door.
He's got issues with things on walls, doesn't he? Oh. Awesome. This is totally that scene from Evil Dead 2. That scene we fought over.
It's completely shot for shot. Yeah, because right here, see there his legs bend, but in Evil Dead 2, when she grabs him by his ankles,
they bend.
She just slides. She slides him across the floor. Give me a break. Anyway, here we go.
Ooh. She gonna get the knife? Get the knife. Get the knife.
Good shot. Total miss.
Oh my gosh.
This was before they could afford editing.
Oh. I want to know how they did that.
She didn't do that in the Evil Dead 2, though.
No.
Yeah, that had to be a dummy hand. Had to be.
Did you see it wiggle? It's pretty fantastic.
They kind of did something like that where in the basement, like, they have that like rubbery hand.
Yeah.
And where he's hitting it with the axe when they're first trying to lock Cheryl down there. Now, I wonder what made them switch Ellen from the lead, the female lead, to Ash's sister. And what was the decision to add a fifth character? Did they just feel like they could get more out of 5 people instead of just the 4?
I think that they wanted to go with the final guy. Back to the final guy thing instead of the phone girl.
Right. And this is the basement in Marshall, Michigan that's used in Evil Dead. It's the same basement, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
The original basement. Yep.
He was the only guy with a basement.
There we go.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I love some of those scenes in Evil Dead, and we'll talk about that next time. But like where you're looking down into the basement in Marshall, Michigan, and they're looking up from, like there was totally different locations, and through the magic of editing, it all just looked like the same place. I think that was opposite. They were in the basement looking up out of Marshall, Michigan, and speaking down in Tennessee.
Right.
But look at the wall. I mean, everything's the same. I bet you that that basement looks exactly the same right now. So, what is she looking for?
Something to...
Whoa.
A gun.
She found a gun. Yeah. It's a little hard to see because it's so murky, but yeah. She's got a pistol. She's ready now. Is that a noose? Was that a noose hanging in front of the camera?
I cannot tell.
Are those the gourds?
The Gorgonauts?
Yeah, it's really dark.
No, I can't see.
I always like the gourds hanging.
Oh, the gourds, yeah. I can't see anything but black and Ellen.
Yeah, it's almost interracial.
What?
All right, so she's back up. I don't know. Edit that. You don't have to.
I'm not gonna.
Anyway. All right, so there she goes.
She's like MacGyver.
She's got the pistol.
Not
she's
MacGyver,
ready.
Columbo.
Columbo's wife. Have you ever shot a gun?
That is yes. That's not how
you
I
have?
hold.
Are you?
I don't hold a gun like that.
No.
That's funsies.
So you're a gun enthusiast,
no,
or?
I've shot a gun though. I want to try everything once.
What kind of gun?
44?
Nerf? Oh, not bad.
Yeah. It was a pretty good sized gun there. Went to a shooting range. My boss took me. It was pretty awesome.
For sure, yeah, me too.
Oh, your boss took you? That's
yeah,
awesome.
It's nice. It's good. My buddy took me, but we shot rifles. We shot.
Oh, we got her.
Join us. Now I love Bruce as the villain here because it's just so cool, and I know that's got to be why they kept him as Evil Ash and had Ash turn. Besides, the story points. Look, she's hacking his arm off or his hand.
Is that what that's what the arrowhead, isn't it?
What? No, she cut it with the knife.
What knife?
The dagger.
She had a knife?
Now this is great. Look
at that.
Look. Well, no, that's the knife he had. Now he's trying to rip it off, but it's not coming off.
Ah! Look at that.
Okay, so he was just supposed to pull it, but it wouldn't come. So look what he did. He bit it off. This is all ad-libbed.
Oh.
And then it looked so gross that they kept it for Shelley when she chews through her hand.
Yes. Oh my.
Yeah. But that was just an ad lib. The thing would not rip. And they couldn't exactly waste film, so he just said, screw it, I'm going to chew through it. And they thought that was gloriously gory, and they kept it.
It was fantastic.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Okay, so she's trying to make her escape through the window. No luck.
And they shut it? What? Wait, it's shut, right?
Yeah, well, it shut on its own.
Boom.
She's giving it to him good.
Oh my God.
What?
This is fantastic.
He's just bashing her head.
This is fantastic.
That eye's moving now. What is she reaching for? What is that?
It's the...
Like a stick? Ooh.
Oh! What the hell was that? A club?
I don't know. It looked like maybe a table leg or something like that.
That would make sense.
A broomstick? I'm not sure.
Damn.
Okay, you don't stop.
Right?
You just keep going.
Dang. Be awesome if he shoved his nub into her mouth.
Look at that. He's dripping. Yeah. He's dripping all over her. This is awesome. Up.
Oh.
Join us. Look at that chin through the makeup.
It's so disgusting and awesomely awesome.
Ooh.
Get her.
Oh, you know that shot's also from Evil Dead. Shelley. Mm-hmm. When Scott, she's pushing Scott's head into the fire, and then he hits her in the back with that. Same exact shot, too. Just like this. Before the milk starts spewing.
Yeah, right.
I always loved that it was black, and it was green, and it was red and white. You know, there was every color in the rainbow was coming out of these people.
They did it so that they could keep their rating down.
Right. But that didn't work. You know, they've had their troubles with the MPAA.
Well, yeah, but they figured if it wasn't real-looking blood, they could get away with an R rating.
Right. They took a shot.
They got the R rating. Oh, no, Evil Dead was released with the NR, huh?
Yeah, I believe it was released unrated.
Because they were
rated X in some markets, maybe. And then they released Evil Dead 2 unrated.
So Evil Dead was really... Evil Dead wasn't... Oh, I'm confused. This is so fantastic.
Yeah, this is great. I wish it would be clear. I would love a beautiful clear transfer of this.
Take my money and make movies and become super famous, and you guys are awesome. I'm blown away.
Okay. So she just hacked him up. I love those 70s lamps in the corner. My mom used to have those. They were pink, though.
Some people still have those.
They were like pinkish.
I know I don't.
You don't remember those? You don't like them?
I didn't exist in the 70s.
So what, though? I'm saying look at the movie. Do you not like
It's fantastic. We're cutting out. It's so crazy. I'm losing you, you're losing me. But she looks really, really sad right now.
Yeah, she's very upset. It's a shame she's going through all the motions, but they're just keeping her, keeping a shot on her back. And then here it is, another shot
that looks dirty.
Copped for the Evil Dead.
Oh my God.
Scotty pops up in the Evil Dead. There you go. Written and directed by Sam Raimi, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Special makeup by Tom Sullivan with Mary Valenti, Scott Spiegel. And that's it. Ted Raimi, part of the crew.
Executive producers, Rip Tapper.
Rob, Sam, and Bruce.
God dang.
Good stuff, isn't it?
God, that was good. That was so good. Oh my God. So
that's just amazing stuff. Now, to talk about the pacing for just a second, did you see how long they lingered on her back while she was crying and rocking back and forth?
They were there for some time.
And that's what I'm talking about. Again, I mean, I've only made, certain really cheap and cheesy films on video cameras. I didn't even ever use real film. But I remember knowing, just from even an early age, first experimenting, doing stop motion animation and things like that, and even some cheesy movies that I did, you never want to keep a steady shot for more than 6 seconds, 5-6 seconds, unless there's a reason for it. And you could see Sam kept a lot of stationary shots in this. So something happened from the time he made the Within the Woods to Evil Dead, where he just decided to make the camera another character in the film.
Right.
Do you think he got some feedback on that just because the camera was pretty stationary in a lot of these shots?
Yeah, I'm sure he did from that one guy that told him that it shouldn't be called Book of the Dead, that guy.
Oh, you're talking about Irvin Shapiro. Right, Irvin Shapiro, who guided them in their early career.
I'm pretty sure that he would have given it, yeah.
So yeah, that's Within the Woods.
Yeah, that was great. Fantastic.
Go ahead.
I'm so glad that
What would you give it? What kind of rating would you give it? On a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm figuring out. Because creativity-wise, it's unique. So there's something going for it. Pace-wise, I was pretty into it. You keep talking about the pace being slow. I was like, this is pretty up to pace. For a 30-minute short, I'm pretty impressed. He told a story in 30 minutes. That's hard to do. And
sure. I mean, I don't mean the whole thing. I mean, up in the beginning, it was a little off. I mean, it's not horrible. I love it. I'm just saying, compared to his early stuff.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I give it an 8 because I was actually blown away with this.
I'll give it an 8.
Special effects were amazing. The for being as low budget as that was, what they do, a $1,600 budget, I think it was. For that,
I believe so.
For that little short, it's pretty fantastic. They did some good stuff, and it was all on film. Nowadays you can do digital, and everything's on a computer, and it's all done. That was all hand edited. So splicing.
You're right. Say it again. Hand edited.
Hand edited.
And and it was too. I mean, and of course that film, you had to be really careful with it. You had to store it in certain conditions. So
it was all played on projector,
and that's why it looks so bad today.
Yeah, I mean it was what they used Super 8 for that one. Yeah, 8mm, which is
that is a good question. I don't know if it was 8mm and then blown up. I'll have to do some research on that.
I'm pretty sure they stuck with
and we can edit it in.
I think they did. No, I think they did use the 8mm, and then in Evil Dead, that was their first time using a higher medium.
Maybe you're right. I believe you're right. That because it was probably the most cost effective way to do it.
And that's probably why a lot of the shots were stationary and all that fun stuff. They didn't have. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 as well, because it was definitely creative. Love the effects in it. Tom Sullivan, just starting out with them. Great stuff. Chewing through the arm. I mean, good ad libs that were kept and became something way bigger than this. So I think that based on this, they definitely deserved a shot to make their first film, which is many people's favorite film from Sam, even though he's come so far. But that was Within the Woods, and I absolutely loved it. So I'll agree with you there. It's an 8. On a scale of 1 to 10, that's an 8. I mean, just for, and let's use Stephen King's quote, right? Some raw, ferocious filmmaking. That's ferocious.
It really was. It was shot on Super 8.
Okay, good. Okay, so Super 8. And then they just shopped that around, and based on that, they got dentists and doctors to give them money, and then they were off to make their
riches
big feature, Evil Dead.
I'm so excited.
But here's the thing. Again, I mean, even though this Within the Woods did not have anything to do with the Book of the Dead or any of that stuff, finding the Nobi cabin or anything like that, it was originally going to be called Book of the Dead.
Right.
And it was Irvin Shapiro that
Nobody's
said,
Nobody's going to watch a movie about a book.
Let's not call it that. Right. Yeah, they think they're going to read for an hour and a half. So thank goodness they did, because I wonder, because they did premiere it at the Redford Theater in 81 as Book of the Dead. But you know what? We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, because episode 5, we're going to delve into Evil Dead in its entirety. And we're going to have special guest with us from the Bruce Campbell fan club, a filmmaker in his own right, Kyle Robert Shorter. And he'll be joining us for the next episode. He's a good friend of ours from the club. And I can't wait to have him and hear some of his views on the Evil Dead.
Yeah, because he's a fanatic.
So, before we go, yeah, he's a fanatic. I mean, he's got a massive collection of Evil Dead goods, and it's just amazing. I mean, he actually auditioned for the position of co-host for this podcast, and he was definitely one of the finalists. Of course, you won out on that. But it was at that time where I said, he's such a good guy, and he's so interesting that we definitely want to have him on the show. Absolutely. So he'll be with us next time, and I can't wait to do that. We're going to discuss Evil Dead in every aspect, sickeningly.
Whee! I'm so excited.
So now that we're talking about the Bruce Campbell fan club on Facebook, of course, we still have the Ashy Slashy Puppet Contest still going on. I started it January 9th. It should have been gone, and it should have been done long ago. But NECA, the company that's putting out the Ashy Slashy Puppet, they keep delaying the puppet. So the last word we have on this is that the puppet will be released in September. So we're hoping that that's the case, because most of us in there have been posting, and there's tens of thousands of posts. We've all become great friends in there. It's amazing, and it's almost coming to a close. I would think another month and a half, maybe a month, and that would be it. You're still involved in that, aren't you?
Yes, just not as much as I used to be. I do editing and stuff now.
Right. And thankfully you do. Now, some people have bought their own puppets. They've pre-ordered them themselves because there's so many people in the thread wanting to win this puppet. They have said, I'm not going to win. There's no way. There's just too many people here. So they're buying their own. Some people are making their own puppets.
Yes, I've made puppets.
Have you seen that? There's 2 or 3 people. And it's amazing. Some of their work is really good. I've always wanted to do that, but I have no talent for that.
I do.
You do? You sew?
I do everything. Leave me alone.
You sow what you reap.
Reap what you sow.
All right. So, is that it? I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
See, I'm thinking about stitching, right? If you rip it, you sew it.
Sew it.
And if you reap it, you sew it too. So
reaping,
I don't know.
It's all the same thing.
Yeah, it's just it all leads to something good, I assume.
Yeah, like a puppet.
So, that's the Ashy Slashy Puppet Contest. Come on down. There's one Ashy Slashy, and it could be yours. So come pick it up.
Maybe.
Now, the second thing I want to tell you about is, you've heard of Space Goat Productions? Yes. SpaceGoatProductions.com. These guys are Evil Dead fanatics just as we are. And since 2017 is actually the 30th anniversary of Evil Dead 2, they do Evil Dead 2 comics. They have the Evil Dead 2 board game. They have so many Evil Dead 2 products, it's ridiculous. So you want to go to Space Goat Productions. You also want to go to merchgoat.com, which is like merchandise goat, merchgoat.com, because they also offer something. Was that a bleat? Were you bleeding? Because it sounded like a goat. It was very totally goat-like.
I bleated for you.
It was.
You were.
Thank you. So, one of the other products that Space Goat Productions does is they make the official Evil Dead 2 coloring book. So this last week, we decided to have a Evil Dead 2 coloring contest in the Bruce Campbell fan club. So basically, there were some free pages that were available for download, so you can practice your coloring for when the book comes out. The book's out by now. But this was, there. So I put up a couple of pages, and tons of people joined and entered that contest.
Beautiful work.
We only announced the winners of the contests on the podcast. Yes, beautiful work. I mean, amazing work. We had so many cool entries. It was hard to choose one. And here's the thing. Before we reveal exactly who won, I just wanted to say that we only reveal the winners of the contests on the podcast. So if you don't hear the podcast and you've won, you're never going to know. And this happened, unfortunately, for the very first time on the last contest that we had, where for Abby's wearable art, available on her Dead Deer Productions Etsy page, somebody won. There was 3 winners. They won the 2 ash heads, and then there was a Necronomicon. The winner of the Necronomicon never actually claimed it. So this prize is going to be that Necronomicon wearable art, and we're going to give it away. And who won, Abby?
Helen Chisholm.
Helen Chisholm. She's involved in Ashy Slashy Puppet Thread, and she wins the coloring contest. So Helen, contact Abby and claim your prize. And good job. Good job for everybody.
Claim it.
I mean, everybody did such a wonderful job.
Everybody did great.
Helen entered Little Ash. We had so many good ones, so I'm so glad. Helen, congratulations. Contact Abby for that. Now, the last thing I just want to say is, have you ever done any? Have you seen this Evil Dead 2 Book of the Thread by Source Point Press?
And it's making me want to take up needlepoint. Yeah.
So yeah, the Evil Dead 2 Book of the Thread. It's officially licensed. It's by Travis McIntyre and another good friend of ours from the fan club, Rebecca Martz Burley. And this is coming out next year, I believe. March of 2018 is the release date. This was Kickstarted, and it was kickstarted.
Yes, it was.
And it met its goal. And it was amazing. Source Point Press. And I know a lot of people in the fan club were behind it because it's super cool.
It is cool.
Like you say, I don't do needlepoint, but I would love to have some of that stuff.
I would.
Did you see the Home Sweet Home sampler?
Yeah, that was adorable. Did you see the ash with the hand?
Yes.
It's fantastic what they can do
some
with
of
needlepoint.
It was so good.
I'm like, whoa! I'm gonna take this shit up.
That's the first. I mean, I met Rebecca in the fan club, and I saw that on Etsy. She used to offer that. I saw the Home Sweet Home sampler, and I was like, I want it. I want this so bad, please. Because it hangs in the cabin of Evil Dead 2. And she's like, no, I don't have any more, and I'm not doing them anymore.
Aww.
But I have something cooking, so, keep watching this space. And she's actually one of the moderators on the Bruce Campbell Fan Club Facebook group.
Know that.
So we wish her the best of luck with this. Again, even though I don't do it, I am going to absolutely purchase this thing.
And you should do it and then show it to everybody because it's going to be amazing.
I might. I mean, I'm sure that my wife has some talent in that area. I'll get her whatever she needs because I definitely want a few of those. I mean, there's some amazing things. So check it out. Source Point Press, Book of the Thread. So that's it for this episode of Bruce on the Loose. And again, just in case, next episode, episode 5, is going to be solely based around the original, the masterpiece, the one, the only Evil Dead.
Oh, yeah,
so, oh, yeah. So join us then. Join us.
Join us. Well, follow yourself. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Me neither.